And welcome back. It's a sourcing video, which is a combination of yesterday at Savers and today out to Ashtabula. It is now probably a little bit after 5. When did I leave? Well, I know the mail was here, so 12:30, maybe closer to 1. So out and gone with, I'm going to speculate with what I have here. I don't know. But it's enough in order for me to make a video in regards to what I sourced. I'll probably have to get to a point where I'm just, getting 8, 10, 15 things and just kind of making a top-down video of it. However, this one is not only to go over this stuff, but instead of boring people like I did today, which I don't think I did because there's a handful of responses to the video of my tangent in regards to what today's sales video was about. And granted, yes, naysayers, no, it didn't really bother. And I replied to the comments that you guys left. It's, I guess, colloquially, you can call it a naysayer. However, that's why I said in the videos, like, I started to laugh when I'm just asking direct questions. Like, I'm asking these because if you have a store, maybe I can pick up on something that you're doing a little different. It's, you can't hate the person who keeps pushing you, like physically pushing you, but you could damn the person who hurts you, right? So they weren't hurting me in any means. They were just kind of pushing a button, being, I don't know if necessarily a troll, because they didn't evoke any sort of emotional response from me, besides laughing and joyous, if you will. So I'm going to get off topic of that. What I'm going to say after I go over what I picked up today and yesterday isn't going to be about that commenter. It's actually going to be about 3 buyers with 3 individual little stories. We'll get to that. All right. So first, the Salvation Army stuff right here. It was like $1.50, $1.60 for all of it. The Goodwill was $6.36 for this stuff here. Ooh. And the Savers was $20. So $28 for everything I have here, and it's easily going to be $300-400, and that is a scale. How about that? So usually I will, when I source stuff, I will write, this is roughly what it will be listed for. It doesn't always sell for exactly that, but close enough. This is what I paid. All right, so let's see what Savers gave me. Well, not give, but I got from Savers. So this is a St. Pius X or 10. I don't know exactly. It's a Daily Meisel. So if you just look this Daily Meisel up, actually, I think all the books I have are all religious based. If you just look this up, this one here is maybe, I don't remember, maybe $20. But this is a Latin to English, specialized Latin to English one. These are 40 to 50. Again, I say it again. I may not remember exactly. It's enough for me to buy. If I'm spending $3 on this book, it's scale. It's got to be close to $30, if not a little more, and it'll be over 8 ounce, so it'll go ground advantage, especially if it's going to be a $40-50. It's going to be a ground advantage, so that's probably closer to what this one is. The dedication page in here is filled out. Most people, I can't guarantee, but most people who get these, so this is a 1961 print. 1961. The first one was 1956. Most people who get these are using them for their own purpose. Every once in a while, someone will get something because the dedication page is clean. It'd still probably sell for about the same amount, my opinion. All right, here's that book. This is a travel journal It's leather. It's made by. It's not full grain. It's made by Royal Travel Journal by Graphic Image, 1997. Leather, gold gilt, clean pages, maps, all kinds of stuff in here. Clean back. If it wasn't closer to 30, or if not a little over $30, probably wouldn't bother, and clean. All right, so it is otherwise. Let's see where this ribbon's at. This ribbon's on a map. 25 to 35. So it's not a whole lot. It's going to be under the 8-ounce rate. So it's still likely go ground advantage, even if it didn't and went media. Well, we'll see when the prices change for that. Well, this won't sell by that time. It may not. I don't know. Well, I won't. I don't think I'll have it listed by then. But because of on how clean the gilt is, this spine is a little faded, but aside of that, there's no like real major dings or anything. So it might be closer to 35 to 40. All right. I was trying to find more books so I can get one free, and I tried to do that, but instead of doing that, which I looked and couldn't really find anything within that acceptable amount for me to buy to sell, is this soap? What's it called? Sapos Principis. So Principis is the word for like a treatise, like a big book or writings of something that convey. Typically, a treatise is going to be like a thicker book in regards to very, very specified technical subject. Kind of like a dissertation, but it's not. So this is John Grinder and Richard Bandler. But this is the Mexican version. And this is one that I had set down until I start circling back around. I'm like, I need more books, so I picked it back up. I think 2 have sold for right around $100. I don't remember if they were hardcover or paperback, and they definitely weren't this. They had kind of like a dome, like an orthodox dome that would be right about here. So even if it's $50 for the $2 I paid, cool beans. Sing-along dogs, Pongo and Perdita, these Dalmatians. I don't remember, it's probably $20-$30. This is Quicksilver. I want to say there was a specific reason why I got this. Is it a twofer? No, this is I think it's a remastered. Either way, it's like $20-$25. And this Video Games Live CD. So this is volume 1. Assuming there's other volumes. It's still like $20, $25. You know, for these I paid $2 for. And then there's this Adobe Photoshop CS5, I believe. So when people buy these, when they're used or open, you are protected as a seller because you're not responsible for valid codes or things that require codes that are open. Actually, you're not responsible for any valid code, open or otherwise. If it's sealed and if it requires a code, if the code doesn't work, you're still protected. I don't get into this too much because there are some nuances to it. However, it is complete. There's not a whole lot to it. It is complete in here. There's like a little manual, a couple registration papers, and the disc. The disc itself doesn't look like it's been pulled out of the packaging. I just want to make sure the disc was there, and I looked at it through what I could, and it looked clean. So these are anywhere from $70 to $150 used. And I want to say maybe there's like 8 listed, and I don't remember now, but it's enough for me to buy for $5. So that was Savers yesterday. Today is preparing for Eternity book. Not a whole lot. It's just another one of those little $15, $20 paperbacks that pay, it's not on there. This was Salvation Army, right? So I paid $1.70 for all 5 things. So 30 cents. Plenty of money, as opposed to paying like $2 for a $15 book. I could, but I really don't want to. But at 30 cents, however, 33 cents, yeah. Chris Rice sealed is probably 15. All right, so we have these 3 DM Fogelbergs. This one is closer to 15 plus. Each of these are going to be in the mid 20s, if not a little more, give or take, right? So these, again, were like not even 35 cents total for each one. All right, there's that one, that one, that one. And then first I was at the Goodwill, and then I went to the Salvation. So kind of showing these backwards. These at $1 each. Put it in like this. And I believe each of these are like $20. I don't remember seeing, I just typed in Fight Fast Pack, because that's what's on the back, right? And also on the front. And there are some listed for like $20 each. They more likely sell combined for a little over $30. I'll see and figure out, weigh my pros and cons on that one. And then these two, religious, has just been religious books. That's how it falls. So this one is Science and Health. This is a newer version of it. The 1 or 2 versions that did sell of it were right around $40, $50. And these were $1.99. This, I forget what year it was, what year it is. Without really looking too much more into it, again, it's like $40, $50. And this is just a basic leather-bound King James version. And I forget, this is Science, Christian Science, I want to say. Authorized King James, yeah, Christian Science Publishing. And according to the ISBN options here, it's leather indexed, leather, gold gilt, leather indexed, and the only other ones were paperback indexed and leather, whichever the other option was. Or maybe it was only one leather. Yeah, paperback, cloth, leather plain, or leather indexed. So leather indexed of this one here, it's like $30, $40. So 500 plus for what I say, 30, 20, $28. That's a pretty good scale in regards, and that's why I kind of put that in there in the titles for that stuff. And I try to remember a little more exactly when I'm actually making the title for the videos. I try to remember and try to add it up instead of just on the fly like that to where it's more accurate. I'm not going to do like a $526. Like it's going to be 500 plus, or the tilde 500 plus, things like that. So 17 minutes right now. So I'm going to make these stories short. All right. So story number 1. What was the first one? Oh, that was a Trisha Yearwood. That one, very, very specific. First studio songs, which have you. So that one I tested. When it comes down to, especially music media, disc media, that was on, I want to say, like a Maxell or TDK CDR. Things like that. And it was absolutely mint. I mean, you can look at the listing if you want. The disc had a couple specks of dust on it. So being that it was essentially an original copy that was originally just burnt to that disc, it is legit. I'll put it in the car and it played. I was more like, well, let's listen to see what kind of music that she started off with. And I'm not a country person, but the first one's like, this is a little, it wasn't the first one, maybe it was the second one, a little too country, and then I track a couple times, went to another one. It played. The buyer gets it and says, hey, I put this in my cart. It's not playing. I'm not going to go into the thread, the chat thread. And okay, it worked for me in my car. And she goes, maybe I need an order CD player. I was like, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you need a DAC player, DAC. And then it comes back a couple days later. Hey, I tried it on an old CD player. It doesn't work. Well, it worked for me. That's why I listed it, because it worked. If it didn't work, if it didn't play, it would be that I would have it in there as good. This is a collector item only, not intended to be listened to, something along those lines. So then they open up a return. And I write them. It's like, well, if I get the disc back, and I know it played before and now it doesn't, you're sending back something that you obviously used. It's kind of a difficult thing to prove with some of the stuff that's open. However, that's not what I wrote, but I did write, hey, you used it, and if I get it back and it doesn't work, you'll be deducted up to 50%. If I get it back and it does work, then you'll be deducted for shipping cost there and shipping cost back. Why? Because in her open return, she wrote ordered by mistake, and that, well, that's the one she picked, and then she wrote in there just didn't like it. Well, so if you ordered it by mistake and you wrote in that case just didn't like it, and yet you wrote in messages to me that it doesn't work, which lie do you want me to believe? That's the basis on what that would be, because it's either you're trying to get something out of something. So if it doesn't work, 50%. If it does work, you're going to get deducted the shipping there and from. They closed that case. Oh, and then I also write in there, I was like, oh, since you opened up a case, and I know you were going to want to leave negative feedback, it will be removed as soon as the case is closed. Actually, I think they changed it to where the negative feedback doesn't even show up. If they open a case, I don't think it even shows up anymore. Because I think eBay just got tired of having sellers manually put that in there. Hey, remove this, remove this. I don't know on that aspect for sure. So then they open up a payment dispute. Oh, okay. So it's what eBay covers under a payment dispute. There may be some other little minor caveats to it, but is what eBay covers under payment dispute is, and primarily only, unauthorized use of the payment method, whatever was used, or unauthorized use of the account. So that means that the buyer or the account that an item was purchased on was not authorized by the person of whom the account belongs to. So if someone else uses my account to buy something, that's unauthorized, unless I know the person who's using it, right? Since I wouldn't know who's using it and I don't recognize that, that's how you make these payment claims to whichever, as someone steals your debit card, same thing, you're not authorizing them to use it. So you make those claims. If you open up a payment claim with your institution outside of eBay, regardless, with your institution, and they find out that you're the one who is using your own payment method, and you want to claim that someone else was using it, that's fraud. When you open up a payment dispute on eBay and in messages, you are telling me that you tried to use the item that you intentionally purchased, and your payment dispute is based off of unauthorized use of your account, you contradicted yourself. Now, my funds are still on hold, but I've dealt with this stuff before. It's the same thing. It's going to get shut down on their end. The bank will see, like, well, it was delivered, and eBay sent us the message thread, of which they should probably do, which I have to get on the phone with them because I have more stories to share. So there's that one. Story number 2 is I sold that one not safe for work. CD thing that was, I'm going to guess, is kind of like the little clip pictures of upcoming magazines or upcoming DVDs, that not safe for work thing. Somebody messaged, and I got a feedback, and that feedback reads, and you can go to my account to see it to make sure I'm saying it correctly enough. Got here real quick. I went ahead and made a direct copy of it to my computer, so I'm good to go. I love it, whichever. All right, so this person just admitted to taking something that reads on it, do not make illegal copies of this, and they went ahead and made a digital copy on their hard drive. I don't have a problem if that's what you want to do. I'm not thinking anything else from that point on. They open up a return today, and I wrote something along the lines of, well, if you return it, you're going to get 50% refund because you already indicated in the feedback that you sent me or left me that you've already used it. And with that, you're making illegal copy of it on your computer. Cut straight to the chase of it. The guy, and then I went back and a couple more things, and he just kept messaging me. I'm out about looking for stuff, and then eventually he closed the case. It's like, all right, fine. I guess I'm just keeping it. All right, I got to talk to eBay in regards to that as well, because they were just trying to commit some sort of something. The other story, 25 minutes. All right. The other story is that someone who bought I forget which video game it is now, not the one I just sent out, which I got sent out in a box and in an envelope. I might drop a couple pictures of the chat. Right. So they sent me a picture of a case, right? And these cases are strong. For me to say in multiple videos that video game collectors are extra finicky, this is how these things get packaged. So this chat thread was outrageous too. Feedback of two, one of them mine. They open up their account on the same day that they bought the item. The picture, and these pictures I will post here when I'm pretty much talking. For a $50 game, not all DVDs, some DVDs will get like a double envelope, which have you. But when it comes down to games, I know people are finicky when it comes down to their games and such. So just using this one as an example, this is not the one that they bought. So this is a 5x4x4. Okay, watch this. Okay, so it fits in here snugly. So the picture that they sent me is a picture of this envelope, like this. This envelope, as you can see, just a tad too small. And I'll get to that. Just a tad too small. And even the height of it is just off by a little. So if I were to have this in here, this would never be able to fold all the way over, and after this goes in here and poofs out, it would never be able to get in here and fold all the way over. Even if I cut this down all the way down to about as close as I can possibly get it without nicking the case and still having a little flap for the case, it still won't fit in here. I cut this down to enough. I cut this down. If I move it over here like this, I cut this down. If this is how I had it boxed in here, if I cut this down to right here, This width is just enough to slide in here to where I have to pinch these edges, and it'll fit in here. I'm not going to send a $50 video game, of all things, 55, in this box, in this envelope, because it won't fit. So he's trying to say that the box got snapped, and I'll show the pictures of what they're trying to show. And when they have the item open, they have it to where the entire thing is flapped over. And they show the inside is dusty. It's just filthy dusty. None of these ones like this that I have, probably can't really see it too well, have any dust in them. Any. So, and then the scratches that they're showing, they're saying that it got scratched like that because it popped out, because the spindle snap, one of these little prongs right here, broke. And the case is broke down here. It doesn't break through this, which is also protected by this. Just doesn't happen. And that's probably 1% of the stuff that I send out is sent like that. Most of all other disc media and even books and stuff are sent in one of these. Even stuff that's $40. When it starts getting to 50 more, it'll get a double or it'll get a box. These, which I just looked up, Supply Hut does have some more of these, and they're a box of 1,000 for $1,300 or $130. So I'll probably go up there and just email them. They're like, hey, if I get 2,000, can I get a deal if I pay cash, right? So I'll probably get them at, just saying, maybe it was a $25 sale. So maybe I can get 2,000 for $200, reduce my price. So I'm not worried about adding another 10, 15 cents to the packaging for something that's that much more. So brand new account, feedback of 2, and he brings up the word, oh, so you think I'm trying to scam you first? No, because I kept writing him, hey, look, that's not what I sent you. That's not even the same case. That's not even the same game. Well, it's the same game, just not the same copy. So I have, the other story is that I've got to talk to eBay about is I haven't got my money back from that router, that $90 router that sold. So I got to talk to them and see on what's up with that. Oh, the joys and the perils of being a reseller. And it just happens to be right now. They come in threes. They do. So we have one case that's trying to commit electronic fraud or embezzlement, trying to embezzle something out of something. They're trying to say that there's an unauthorized use of their account and unauthorized use of a payment method on eBay for an item that they bought with intent and used. So that's squash. The other one, the guy opened up a return case after he already admitted that he essentially made an illegal copy of that on his hard drive, and then eventually closed the case. And then this guy here who has this, and I just wrote him back, it's like, hey, let you know if I get it back in that condition, you're getting deducted 50% refund. Which I don't want to do. Because if he's going to send back in that condition, with that case in that condition, that's a guaranteed loss. There's almost minimal. I could fix the disc, but I don't know about the case and everything else. So I got to see if I can force eBay to close that case. That is some extra energy and extra stuff for like this morning's video. It was like 20, 25 minutes of just talking about something else and then showing. Same thing with this one here. All right, so this video is now 33 minutes. Let's see if I can chop it down to 30. I don't think it's going to matter much. But anyhow, like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. It was more like I won't say complaining, but more, I don't know. Either way, comments help. Tell me if anything helps. Sub share helps. Appreciate it. Thank you.